Hello friends, today we will see how Saturn gives result in different houses in Libra ascendant. And this is the third and last part of the video, and in this part we will cover 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th houses. So let's start. Saturn in 9th house. The planet Saturn or Shani is a giver of variant impacts upon the natives, but they always comes in a blend of good and bad, and similar results would be here also when Saturn in 9th house. Here, Saturn or Shani would provide strong understanding of philosophies and great intellect, but with some stubbornness. The people of this placement of Saturn in 9th house would attain great heights in the path of education and learning, and would possess strong philosophical hold in their persona, for which they are much mature but more of with practical understanding, and are truly spiritual in their approach. They are stable personalities with some firmly placed beliefs and norms in their lives, for which they are not at all flexible, and this is why they are perceived to be quite orthodox at times. The natives of this placement of Saturn in 9th house won't accept and adapt to the changing environment around them and won't let the world change them. They possess great powers to stick to their own stand, and making them move a bit would require a lot efforts. They could be quite aggressive and harsh in their attitude at certain places. These natives having Shani in 9th power could attain great heights of success upon land if they would learn some flexibility in life, otherwise their immense firmness would be a reason behind their obstacles. The people of this placement of Saturn in 9th house would be blessed with 3 houses in life and would happily lead a long path of life. These people are believed to attain admirable success in the arenas of tour operating and civil engineering. Besides this, if these people would nurture and keep her 3 generations near, it would reduce the malefic effects of Saturn to a good extent, while being generous and helpful to others will also bring good benefits. The natives of this placement would have Sun quite late in life. Though these natives would have a good life, but as Saturn always brings difficult to further keep it good, the natives should pursue some remedies to reduce the adverse impacts of Saturn. They should offer rice or almonds in the running water, besides which, being associated with the profession comprising things of Jupiter and Moon, would bestow success to the person. Saturn in Gemini shows. Mercury is the lord of Gemini, and it shares an almost friendly relationship with Saturn. Saturn here affects the judgment of the person, since Mercury is the significator of wisdom. Such people tend to be deceptive at times. It also makes the native vulnerable to addiction. These natives tend to become mean and selfish at times. Saturn in Gemini also gives a tendency to wander a lot. These people lack stability and organization in life. In fact, they lead quite a messy lifestyle. Saturn in Gemini makes the person narrow-minded too. This placement of Saturn also gives the native interest in chemical and mechanical sciences. Such people are quite systematic and logical in their approach. They have exceptional reasoning ability. They are quite resolute and have good problem-solving skills. They always make a move only once sure of the outcome. They never get the jitters in critical situations and face problems in a cool and collected way. However, they do face difficulty in processing new information. Discussion helps them understand things better and reach to a conclusion. Saturn in as a 4th lord in the 9th house shows. When the 4th lord is placed in the 9th house, the person fullness of feeling and fortunate. If the planet in good dignity, then the person is very fortunate. The mother bring luck, highly educated, caring. Parents are fortunate, emotionally attached with higher knowledge, philosophical and religious, gets emotional blessing and love from the guru and parents, love for justice and fairness, get benefits from long distance traveling. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person may spend too much time in religious activity and loses money after them. Too much international traveling, could experience a big loss through too much optimism and lack of prudence. Saturn as a 5th lord when sits in 9th house, if the planet is strong, then the native have spiritual knowledge, get merits from past life, good karma, evolved soul, publishes their philosophy, perceive love and romance on as a spiritual plane. Children intelligent and blessed from higher power, find love and romance in long-distance traveling, interested in law, justice and higher learning. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person may lack in previous birth merits, too much optimistic but lack in application, intellectual can be clouded, children travel away, romantic complications in long-distance journey. Saturn in 10th house. The planet Saturn or Shani is a well-perceived potent presence in the astrological arena. The placement of Saturn in 10th house would bring dominance and authority to the natives of this placement, but Saturn always come along with some problems and difficulties in the path. The natives born under this combination of Saturn in 10th house are perceived to be very much desired of higher positions of authority and are believed to put great efforts and hard work for the same. They are sincere and determined at their workplace and carry strong belief upon their own. These natives would confront some obstacles in their path, as the path of Saturn could never be easier, but they will overcome the difficulties and would become stronger with time. The natives of this placement of Saturn in 10th house would carry a dominating personality to workplace, even if they won't possess much authority. These people are natural leaders at work and could also behave in the same way in their personal front at times and are strongly serious at work. They carry a quiet aggressive attitude and could be harsh at times, for which they would possess only few strong relations around in the professional and social enclosure, though they will leave great influence around and would rule over the surroundings. They could also have some hidden foes. These people of Saturn in 10th house, being deeply devoted towards their profession, could take over weight of responsibilities upon their shoulder, which could turn their life difficult at times, and for this they are advised to stay practical in their approach towards work. Apart from this, these people would attain admirable growth in life due to their own endeavor, and they will worth it. In this placement, Saturn has arrived in its favorite house, for which it is one of the positive placements in the astrological studies. This would bestow the person with satisfaction and happiness from affluence and prosperity. These natives will also receive favors from government and would possess pleasing relations with the people of authority. The natives of this placement having Shani in 10th bhava are advised to work while sitting at only one place, as then only they will enjoy the true benefits from the Saturn. The natives of this placement should visit temples to the possible extent and should offer food and services to blind people for the reduction in malefic effects. They should stay away from non-vegetarian food and alcoholic drinks. Saturn in Cancer. Cancer is a sign ruled by Moon, which relates to mind and emotions. Saturn is inimical towards Moon, so it gives some mental distress to the native having Saturn in Cancer. People with this placement have great depths of character. Their thoughts run deep. Saturn gives them a reflective mind, but it fills the mind with negative and depressing thoughts. Such people expect a lot from others and get hurt quite easily when their expectations are not met. These natives majorly struggle to enjoy peace of mind. Quite often, people with Saturn in Cancer feel a sense of loneliness in their life. Their exterior is calm and collected, but they have a lot hidden, just like still waters run deep. With Saturn in Cancer, you have a strong fondness for children and friends, but you do not like to show your love and emotions to them. You are very attached to your family, which comes as both a boon as a burden. While you love your near and dear ones, there is a lack of warmth among you all. Saturn in Cancer also gives a stubborn and slow-moving character. It makes the native prone to dental problems and selfishness too. Saturn as a fourth lord in 10th house. Fourth lord in the 10th house. When the fourth lord is placed in the 10th house, the person has nurturing career. If the planet in good dignity, then the person is leading to high educational benefits. Career can be in education, real estate, vehicles, hotel business. Successful businessmen, mothers play role in career, good status, leadership qualities, have political skill. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person suffer emotionally due to difficulty in career, directional less in career, suffer in career through mother, knee problems. Saturn as a fifth lord in 10th house. Fifth lord in the 10th house. When fifth lord sits in 10th house, if the planet is strong, then the native good in career field, career involved in speculative business, investments, interested in sports, games, entertainment, spiritually inclined, interested in politics, gain from government, have good status, children and romantic partner help in career. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person neglect children for career, may have scandal in career place, not interested in fifth house related activities, like sports, entertainment, speculation and etc. Saturn in 11th house. The planet Saturn or Shani is one of the most potent presence in the horoscope chart, which brings strength and dominance along with the hurdles and difficulties in the path. The arrival of Saturn in 11th house would bestow the native with good social presence and good relations around and high aspirations to the person. The natives of this placement of Saturn in 11th house would carry high hopes and dreams and would be truly determined and dedicated in their path. They would give all the required endeavor in their walk and would fight with obstacles for which even if their path would remain quite harsh, but they will reach good heights of professional and social arena and would attain good affluence and position. Their high endurance and patience further strengthens their path. The people born with Saturn in 11th house would carry good relationships around as they would develop bonds with many in the social arena, but their intimate and close relationships would only be few, though they would possess numerous friends around. They would be truly friendly and would be able to merge with any kind of age group, besides which they would often approached by people in need. These people having of Saturn in 11th house would not involve in worthless social stuff, as they would find it somewhat tiring, though they will carry a significant presence in the social and professional arena. These people won't share their personal core with everyone and would prefer to keep it aloof, though people won't come to notice it. They are free living souls who always needs their own space. On the other part, these people having Shani in 11th power could be somewhat untrue and deceitful at times, and their shrewdness would further help them in growing ahead. Their fortune would reach good level after the age of 40. Besides this, here Saturn would provide results depending upon the placements of Rahu and Ketu in the horoscope chart. The natives of this placement of Saturn in 11th house should place a vessel filled with water before going to any important work. They should sprinkle oil or a wine upon earth for continuous 43 days, as it would reduce the malefic effects of this placement. They should stay away from immoral food and drinks and should keep their character and core pure and true. Saturn in Leo. Sun is the ruling planet of Leo and it shares an inimical relationship with Saturn. Sun is a ball of fire, and when Saturn, an airy malefic planet, sits in Sun's fiery sign Leo, it naturally fans the flames. Due to this inimical relationship between Sun and Saturn, the native born under Saturn in Leo has a lot of aggression in their personality. Sun represents father and authority, and when Saturn is placed in Leo, it causes problems in relationship of the native with his or her father or authoritative figure. Such people like to live in solitude, much like a lion. They want to live like wanderers, free and undisturbed. Saturn in Leo gives a medium height and stature to the native. Such people are usually very stubborn, tough to move. They work hard in life and often work towards achieving a leadership role. They are skillful and able to carry the load of work and responsibilities. As parents, these natives tend to be quite disciplined. Such people have a lot of interest in creative fields such as writing and reading. They know that they have the talent inside but struggle to express themselves creatively. They tend to be loyal and never try to play with others' feelings. They do, however, at times feel unfortunate. Saturn as a fourth lord in the 11th house. When the fourth lord is placed in the 11th house, the person gets profits from learning. If the planet in good dignity, then the person is earned through learning, good profits from training in latest opportunity area, have friendly attitude, supportive, benefits from influential people, friend, mother's side family members, jolly natured, gets fulfillment in their hopes and wishes, gets what they want, have good income. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person may have stepmother, overly optimistic, lose opportunities, need to be careful for opportunities, undereducated to meet opportunities, emotional problems with elder siblings. Saturn as a fifth lord in the 11th house. When fifth lord sits in 11th house, if the planet is strong, then the native gain through social network and friends, have good past life merits, plenty of opportunity, good friend circle, have good income related with speculation, entertainment, spiritual practice, may it also contribute in earning. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person expends after romantics, partner and children, not interested in love matters, older sibling can create problem in earning money, friend also not helpful, and not good social circle. Saturn in 12th house. The planet Saturn or Shani brings strength and growth in the native's life, but it also brings difficulties and hurdles in the native's path. The arrival of Saturn in 12th house would bestow potency to the person, but with some of instability due to obstacles and negativity in the environment around. The natives born with Saturn in 12th house would be quiet, reserved in attitude, and would prefer to stay in lurk arenas and solitude as they would feel secure in them. These natives won't possess many pleasant relations around, neither they would be very much involved in public activities, as they will prefer to work hard behind the scenes, besides which they would not receive the worthy recognition and reward for their endeavor. The natives born in this placement of Saturn in 12th house would lack at self-belief and would be quiet, unstable at the mental composure. The natives of this placement would be fearful of harsh realities of life and would be very sensitive to the evilness prevailing in the air. The natives of this placement could confront unreasonable guilt and anxieties which in real emerges from their inner emotional depth, which makes them vulnerable from inside. The natives of this placement should try to get merged with people around, as that will let them vanish the vague inside them, and should try to enjoy life the way it is and accept yourself the way the Creator have made you. The placement of Shani in 12th bhava would bring pleasant results, for which these natives won't have enemies, besides which he or she would have more than one house. The natives of this placement would further grow their family business and would attain high affluence in their life path ahead. These natives of Saturn in 12th house should stay away from immoral drinks and food comprising alcohol and non-vegetarian food, as that will provide the adverse impacts of Saturn. They should keep 12 almonds wrapped in a black cloth and place it in an iron pot, which should be kept in a dark room as to reduce the malefic impacts of this placement. Saturn in Virgo. The ruling planet of Virgo is Mercury, which also has Gemini as its own sign. While Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo, Saturn's placement in each of these signs brings different results due to the difference in the temperament of the signs. Gemini is an air sign, and when an airy planet like Saturn is placed in it, the native often develops a tendency to build castles in the air and is self-interested. When Saturn is placed in an earthy sign like Virgo, which is represented by the subtle and sober Virgin, the native is a lot more understanding. Such a person is stable, tries to understand the other person, and takes decisions after a lot of forethought. Saturn in Virgo makes the person very crafty and creative. However, such a person struggles to be self-reliant and often relies on others' advices. Such natives tend to be very helpful. They have fewer friends but are quite loyal. They can, however, be rude, quarrelsome and narrow-minded at times. These people nonetheless are very cautious and methodical. Their success is often the product of cautious investments and strategic planning. They don't worry about the little problems and hiccups in life and work hard towards success. Health, however, suffers at times. Saturn as a fourth lord in the 12th house. When the fourth lord is placed in the 12th house, the person distant from emotions. If the planet in good dignity, then the person is interested in spiritual practice development, giving, caring, feels more at home in foreign country and quite isolated places, spends time in ashrams or spiritual retreat, not attached to world, have spiritual mother. If the planet is not in good dignity or weak, then the person is not interested in to make good living, lack in education, few fixed assets, car, house, real estate, little support or love from mother, overly generous, lack of good sleep, lack in sex drive, health problems, may spend time in some confinement, punishment due to bad deeds. Saturn as a fifth lord in the 12th house. When fifth lord sits in 12th house, if the planet is strong, then the native have strong desire for enlightenment, happiness and peace. Interested in divine love like Meera, the devotee of Lord Krishna, spiritual seeker, and may adopt children. If the planet is not in good dignity, then the person feels setbacks in romance, afraid of having children, trouble with children, may have miscarriage, suffer losses in relation with children, punished being dishonest in speculative business, loss through government, mental disturbance and slow development of children, and not interested in fifth house related things.